We'll just do some announcements here for the folks. If the mic comes your way, if you could just speak loudly and clearly, have the mic about this distance. If we could silence our cell phones so we don't have them going off during the service there. If you need the bathroom, through that doorway to the left. I see some cups with some, is that coffee, water, anything? If you could just keep it over there, you'll see a little stand right there. You could either finish it over there or otherwise. Bathroom, you're good. And leave the back seats for those stragglers. If you want to fill up the front seats, we got some here for you, over there for you as well. Appreciate it, guys. About to get started.
Poor Nick.
I got to put a stop to
Did you
this
believe
clapping
that?
of announcements.
Where's the lesson?
I think we got to put a stop to that.
Where's the lesson? Where's the lesson, Nick? Your fan. Where's your fan, Nick? Is the mic on over here? Can you hear it?
Test.
Oh, yeah, I hear it.
I don't know if we hear it that well, but I'm hearing it on the
Well, tell them to turn that sound up a little bit.
All right, okay.
So I went to McDonald's yesterday morning while it was raining, and I sat at a table next to a man and his wife, and a few minutes they got up to leave, and so I didn't notice they had a dog under the table, but there was a dog under the table, and the dog had a leash on him, and the wife got up to try to, oh, hey, Lester, we just asked about you. He needed someone to start the applause, so your friend stepped in. And so the wife got up to tell the dog to come to her. The dog wouldn't move. And she said to her husband, this dog is refusing to move. Can you tell him to come? And so the husband said, that's probably because you had that stupid raincoat on him and he feel embarrassed. Because you had a long raincoat, yellow raincoat on the dog. And the dog was embarrassed. It was all the way from his head, all the way back. And the dog wanted to stay under the table because he was embarrassed. You know, amazing? I'm like, right on, man. Finally somebody said it to his wife. Nobody here would do anything like that, right? You don't dress up your dog, right? Nobody here would do that. Or take him to the doctor or anything. Hey. When it rains, the dog's supposed to get wet in the rain, and then he shakes off the water. And that's how he cleans his body. But those, what do you call those places where you take the dog and they clean them for you now? What? But the dog groomer said, no, put a jacket on your dog, bring him here. Oh, yeah? We talking about Joel, not Hake. Oh, good. You like his topic too? About the women relationship? Oh. Do you listen to Joel? You do? Oh. And you like it too? Oh, nice.
I have some friends.
In Jesus. Is it working?
We're live right now. Yes.
Good morning. Welcome to church. I'm Jesse Peterson. Thank you so much for being with me. You can get involved by going to our YouTube chat line, and Hake will pass on your questions and comments to me. I can take it on. Good morning again, y'all. How's everybody? I'm sorry?
Phenomenal.
Amazing. What's phenomenal?
It means I'm having a really good time.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Any questions or comments from anybody before we get rolling?
I have a comment.
The Jew has a comment.
The what?
The Jew.
Mexican
Shalom.
Jew. Gracias. I don't even speak Spanish.
But he's really not a Jew. He just looked like a Jew or an Allah Abba.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
we were talking about this earlier, that's why. But he's Hispanic. This your first time here?
It is.
What's your first name?
Alex.
Welcome, Alex. Go ahead.
There's something that I realized about. I used to live here. I lived here for about 9 years, and I live out in Tennessee now.
Speak a little louder.
Oh, I lived here for about 9 years. I lived out in Tennessee now, and it was something that I tell people all the time because I've been very fortunate in my life, and I noticed that there's three things that I tell people when they ask me, like, well, how do you get to do cool things or have a cool job or whatever? And I tell them, if you can do three things at the same time, you will end up in the right places with the right people. Show up on time, have a good attitude, and do your best.
Absolutely.
And if you can do all three of those things at the same time, you're
Yep.
a unicorn.
can't go
You're
wrong.
very rare because
Yep.
there's people who do two all day long. Very few people, and you're just an ordinary person if you only do two.
Yeah.
But if you do all three, you're very unusual. So, anyways.
That's what they taught in the old school.
Yeah.
You're right about that, man. Absolutely. I was just thinking of dogs while he was speaking. And I was thinking of dogs and men. I remember when men used to be strong, they didn't have fear, and they dealt with home life and the outer world straight up. Just straight up dealt with it. And then they start watering down men. Instead of letting men go out in the rain without a rain jacket, they put a coat on.
I have a comment on that.
And instead of letting men, like you were just saying, through high school, teach them to work and be responsible. When they turn 18, they're on their own. They start telling the men they got to go to college instead of trade school. And then they start telling men that let your woman run the family, not you. And we're going to give you a woman welfare checks and things like that. And the men fell for it. And now the men are weak, real weak. And they're doing the same thing to the dogs. The dog used to be strong too. You wake up in the morning, you go outside, the dog is ready. Let's go hunt. I had a dog named Tony. And when I got my first gun, I just 15 years old, went out. Tony went outside. Tony followed me out into the woods, and was happy. He wasn't crying about wearing my raincoat. Oh, it's too cold. Oh, I need a bath. He went out and helped me find a squirrel in the tree. And Tony never stayed in the house. Even though he would come in when we opened the door, but he didn't use the toilet in the house or any of those things. And Tony was tough, but now Tony is weak. Isn't that amazing? But anyway, it was just a thought. You had a question about that?
Yeah. So I just had a comment. He said that like a lot of like men are weak now. I just watched Nefarious last night, and amazing movie, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't want to steal your thunder and say amazing, but it was.
It was amazing.
No, but
That's
because
not
he
my
t-
thunder. That's thunder for the world.
but he just like so like I don't want to spoil it, but they were just talking about the
It's too late.
weakness.
We've talked about
But
it.
like the weakness of man and
every day on the radio.
yeah, but no, but it kind of shook me how he was talking about that we give our allegiances to like the demons and we just think like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And man, for that reason, has become weak. Cause you're speaking about the same thing, and like I was raised with like a single mother, and she kind of babied me, and I guess you're doing that with my little brothers, and I was weak for so long,
Yeah.
And like now, like the first time I came here, I was nervous, like talking, and I learned a couple of things since I found you, and just started trying to seek. I was trying to
Right
go
on.
through that, and it's cool because the fear is still there, but it's like slowly, it's leaving. So I just want to say that, yeah, people are, men and women, we're both all weak, and we got to toughen up, because being tough is one of the biggest things that I think it's important to be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. A man's supposed to be tough. I want to say this to you, and then we'll get to the biblical question. I counsel with men and women around the world, all races and everything. And one thing I've noticed is that when they wake up from this messed up life, from anger or whatever, the first thing they want to do is tell somebody. They want to tell somebody. They want to go out and preach about it. They want to start a street ministry, blah, 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 whatever. But what I notice in all families, maybe exception, I don't know, but in all families, whenever you wake up and you want to start telling someone about it, they get angry at you. They attack you. They dare you to leave your religion, whether it's Christianity or Allahu Akbar or Judaism. They get mad because you are now awake and you're falling away from the club, and they don't like it. And they attack you. And they tell family members about you, and they remind you of your past, and your whole family member. I can't tell you the number of men and women who have told me that their family member turned against them, and they were surprised by it. And they become lonely because all of a sudden they have no friends and no family members and things like that. And some people want to go back, but once you wake up, you can't go back anyway, when you truly wake up. And I'm saying this to you to really urge you, when you wake up, don't tell anyone. I urge you to quietly grow, become a living example, because when you want to tell it, it's all intellectual anyway. You want to look good, you want somebody to think, obviously, you got it, and you're ready to argue with the Bible thumpers versus the non-Bible thumper. It's all ego. So don't tell anyone when you wake up. You're not strong enough to handle the attack. You're not strong enough to lose your phony fake friends you never had anyway. Because when you lose a friend, all it was a fake friend anyway, or a family member. It was a fake family member anyway. It was never real. That's why you lost them. It has always been fake. So don't tell anyone. Keep it quiet. Satan will tell you to correct that person, correct this person. Argue with the Bible thumper, Jesus is not God, and all that stuff, right? Stop it. Be a living example. Christ didn't argue with people about it. Whenever he spoke, they would attack him, but he didn't go around trying to prove God to anyone. So let yourself grow. It's enough overcoming the hell, right? So let yourself grow without having to deal with the hell outside of you right now. And you'll be prepared for it. It will come anyway, because if you continue with the growth, you are going to change. They are going to see it, and they are going to attack you. You are not allowed to leave the club. Whether it's the family club, the religious club, the club, whatever little social social group you're in, one person is not allowed to leave. So it's going to happen anyway, but at least you'll be ready for it if you allow yourself to grow spiritually before you try to tell someone. All right? Do what you want, but that's my warning. Because it happens to everyone. They attack. Amazing, huh? So I want to get to the biblical question. Let's see who I want to talk about this. The guy in the black sweater.
Hi.
Oh, hi. Not yet. I have a question for you in a minute. All right. The young lady here and the young man in the brown sweater. Talk to us about your fears.
My fears. My whole life I've faced my fears. I've been the outlier from when I was a teenager. I started recognizing lies back in the 80s, and I just followed my journey. I never bought into any of the nonsense. I basically made my own choices. I accepted the fallouts from people. I embraced people who were truthful and honest. And, I've always faced all my fears, and I continue to do so. I think one of my fears is to become more vocal, like you. More looked on as someone who, is strong and willing to face fears. I've literally have faced mostly everything that I've put myself through in life. I've never bought into any of the nonsense. I've lived, kind of not a solo life, but I never felt like groups were something that I gravitated to because, I saw people, very easy for people to lie and to basically live in delusion. And I never allowed myself to do it. I grew up Catholic. I never left Jesus. I kind of shied away from the Catholicism, but I never left God or Jesus. And coming to LA 30 years ago, I didn't, it was a whole different ball game. And then just, basically try to be a strong person on the daily. So I don't have any fears of like challenging people or being outcast or anything like that at all. I just bring it on is what I say.
Okay. Ask him a question before we get to you about what you just said.
You never reflect internally and ask yourself, do I fear my own thoughts? Do I fear what others might expect me to do? It sounds
Never.
like no.
I've been called every single word and thing ever negative, but I know who I am. I've peeled back my layers. I've stood up to people. I'm tough. I've always been tough. I have no problems confronting people, and that comes from confronting myself my whole life. Never.
Okay.
I've always lived to the beat of my own drum, basically.
All right. I have one question for you, then we get here. You say you've been called, you've been called all type of names?
Everything.
Have you been called the N-word?
In jest.
So you have?
In jest, yeah.
What's that?
In jest.
Oh, they were playing around when they called,
Yeah.
Oh,
Bro talk.
yeah.
Bro talk.
You say that you never left Jesus or God. What do you mean by that?
I never abandoned my connection with God and the teachers. I still have my high school Bible that I still refer to, and this is 30 years ago that I brought from the East Coast. So I've always gone back to the Bible and looked to for answers and all of that, that allowed me to face some of the tougher things by coming to the understanding of some of the teachings in the Bible.
How do you know you were attached to Jesus and God?
It's a good question. I think, because I was born into a Catholic environment, I was an altar boy. I never shied away from, the words the teachings. And then as I got older, I veered away from the church, but I've always looked to the Bible and tried to really understand, some of the teachings in there and how it applies to me and how I can sense that. It always had that connection, I felt.
Amazing. Talk to me 2 minutes or so about your fears.
Okay, my fears.
And speak up for me.
I think I've had a fear of abandonment my whole life, and I fear my own thoughts. I realize that a lot of the fear that I have is in my own head. I think about like in high school or college, I would be in my head and I'd be afraid I'd be left out of something, or people were talking about me, or that no one wanted me around. And I think that all of my trouble stems from that, including my relationship with God, because I get in my own head a lot. So I really think that the source of that all comes just from thoughts, and not trusting God. I've been reading the Bible, and it just talks a lot about you have to accept God and trust Him.
Okay.
And I think in those moments where I've had those fears of abandonment, whether it be from friends or loved ones, family, whatever the case, it comes because I'm not trusting that God's going to be there for me, and that I know that I'm never alone if I have God and I accept God into my life. So that's something that I've actually been reflecting on lately, and not being afraid of that because He's always with me. But I would say my number one fear up until I've been studying the Bible recently has been abandonment in my own thoughts.
Oh, okay. Ask her a question about what she said.
For you, what do you think it means to trust God? Like, what does that look like for you?
To trust God means to not think, to just know fully that He will be there for me, and to not overthink it. So not be like, oh, this person's going to leave me, and to think of all of the scenarios, but then tell myself God's there. That's not trusting God. To trust God is to not think like, oh, all these thoughts might be, I just need to acknowledge that those thoughts are there, and then let them roll off my back, and just only focus on the love that God has.
Okay. What does it mean when you say you have the fear of abandonment? What does that mean?
I don't know. I just think that throughout my life, I've always been afraid that I'm going to be left behind by people.
Meaning that they're not going to hang out with you anymore?
Yeah, that, or like they don't really want to be around me, or that I'm not good enough for the people that I'm around.
And you would think that about yourself?
Yeah.
And why would you think that you were not good enough?
I don't know.
Good enough for what?
For them to accept me.
I'm sorry?
For them to accept me.
And so the ones that you were afraid of abandoning you thought they were good enough for you?
I guess that's what I assumed, but, that's not really based in any sort of self-reflection or I wasn't really present in my thought, because that doesn't make sense,
Yeah.
Like if you really think about it and break it down, that doesn't make sense. No one's better than anyone. But
at the time you thought you were less than them?
Yeah.
And why did you think they were better?
I just don't think I had the most self-confidence, or I didn't really feel that I had the value that I truly do.
Oh, Are you white?
I am white, yes.
White people are not supposed to feel that way, right? They're superior. Amazing. Okay. Talk to me about 2 or 3 minutes about your fears.
All right. Well, I'm a pretty shy guy, so I'm just afraid of kind of people in general, I would say. I've had that growing up throughout. It's funny, as a little kid, I never had that problem. I had a group of friends, we played sports, and it just never seemed like a big deal. But middle school and high school, I started to, like, I'm very, like, judgmental, I guess, of people, and I, like, size people up and, like, oh, this person's tough or whatever. I make up my own opinion of people and then compare myself to others, and I always think that I'm less than people. So just even small talk communication, I'm very, like, uncomfortable. It's funny though, if I'm at, like, work or something, or I have a reason to be talking to somebody, it doesn't seem like I have the fear. But when I'm just, like, myself and don't have, like, any identity, like, I'm not working for anybody, I'm just myself, I feel a lot of fear. I'm afraid of speaking what I really think, and kind of conform to the world. Yeah, I would just say my main fear is people and just communication.
Are you afraid of speaking in front of people, you say?
Yeah,
Okay. All right, come up here.
why not? I came all the way from San Diego, so I better do it all the way.
Okay, stand right here so you'll be on camera. Do you mind being on camera?
That's fine.
Okay, stand here so the camera can pick you up. Oh, you're too tall, huh? Sit on that chair over there. Would that help? Why are you so tall, man? Did you walk up here from San Diego? You gotta look in front of that camera.
Oh, dang.
I sit up now, so I don't look like a beta. Is that fine? If he does?
Yeah, trade seats.
Oh, okay. Let me see here. There. Now I feel better.
All right. There you go.
How's that? Oh, good. All right, look out at the audience and go ahead.
I'm happy to be here. It's nice to
Do
see.
you realize you're moving around?
I'm happy to be here. It seems like there's a lot of decent people in the room that want to learn and do the right thing. So I'm happy to be a part. It's my first time here.
They can't hear you.
I'm happy to be here. It's my first time here. I'm from San Diego, and I like that there's seems like a lot of decent people that want to do the right thing, and I hope to come back here more and more and grow in this community.
Why are you shy in front of the public? What are you afraid of? Looking at them, what are you afraid of?
I guess I'm insecure about myself and my personality, and feel I don't measure up to people, and I feel, yeah, I worry them seeing, like, me, and yeah.
What do you mean you don't measure up to people? How does one measure up to someone?
For me, it's very shallow, I guess. So, if he has nice clothes, he looks like he has a good job, you know.
He stole that suit. Your mind telling you, oh, he has a nice job, he worked hard, he looks sharp.
Oh, I've been homeless before.
See, he stole that suit. Your mind lying to you.
No, it's true.
But go ahead.
And then if I see somebody that speaks up, I compare myself to you and think I'm weak and I don't speak up, and that I'm less than. All right.
But you're not weak because you don't speak up. You're weak because you compare. You should never compare yourself to anyone.
Mhm.
If you never compare, you would never be weak.
That's true.
Isn't that amazing?
Mhm.
And how are you feeling right now? Nervous?
Not bad, honestly.
And why you're not nervous right now?
I think it's because I have a reason to be here. I guess you invited me up, and I feel like I don't know. But if I were to just come up here without or I guess that's for anything. But if I were to just talk to somebody that didn't ask to be talked to, it would be a whole different ballgame because I'm not invited or I have a reason to be here. I guess is why
I see.
I'm not nervous.
Okay. This young lady want to ask you a question, and then the young lady in the green want to ask you one. Then you can go back down. Yes, ma'am.
What brought you here? What prompted you on this Sunday to come in and enjoy church?
I was watching one of Jesse's videos, and it was about last week, and it was about coming out of the attic, or it was about you're in the attic and somebody's breaking into your house, and you're not doing anything about it, but you see it, and I just just hit me in that instant, like that's what I've been doing pretty much all my life, and I figured one thing that I can do is to just kind of jumpstart it a little bit is to come here and just fresh start, I guess. Or I don't know, but just try something different.
Amazing.
Can I ask another question?
No. No, you can't. One more.
Does it get overwhelming worrying about every single person? It seems like a full-time job.
Yes, and it's prevented me from like doing a full-time job, and you know what I mean, like that. Like it's really messed up my life, and so
Amazing.
it's really held me back.
Nice question. The young lady in the green. Ask him a question about what he's talked about or whatever. Or what you realize or whatever.
Firstly, I think it's awesome that you went up there, especially on your first time coming.
He had no other choice.
Well, he did. He didn't have to.
See those guys in the back? They're going to lock him down.
You said a question? Ask him a question?
Yes.
Okay. Ooh. Do you think that if you become more and more aware of your thoughts, that you'll be able to, in time, overcome your sort of anxiousness and your judgment of other people? Because you were saying when you were sitting down that you kind of analyze people and kind of break them down to and judging them. Do you think that if you continue on this process that maybe you can allow that to fall off?
Yeah, I think so. I'm starting to see it somewhat come off a little bit, and just recognizing that I do it. And also, there are moments where I know I have like an internal sense of what to do, and the thing is, I just don't do it. I listen to to another voice in my head, and that distracts me from what I really ought to be doing. But before, I didn't even know that first voice. So
Yeah.
I think in due time, or I'm just doing the silent prayer and stepping outside of my comfort zone.
Amazing. You have a question, you say? Yes.
Are you close with your father?
I can't really say so, no.
That's a part of it.
Yes, it is.
Can you guys come up here to the white seats? Yeah. I reserved them for you. This young lady has one question for him. Are you nervous?
No, but I just can't think of a question at the moment.
Oh, but you're not nervous? You better be glad you said no, or you will be up here too. All right. Okay. So have you forgiven your mother?
Mm-hmm.
Do you face your mother?
Mm-hmm.
How did that go?
Good. I did it twice, actually.
And why twice?
Because the first time I didn't really say exactly how I felt. I kind of did it intellectually.
Oh, okay. And how about your father?
I've done it once, but we've spoken twice about kind of the same topics that are in conflict between us.
Oh, okay. And how did your mother react when you forgave her? What was her reaction?
First time I did it so like soft and weak that she really didn't even think much about it.
You're like,
Yeah, like
you're like, Mom, I forgive you. And she's like, "Oh, all right." But no, go ahead.
and then the second time I kind of shook her up a little bit, I guess is the best way to put it, because I said I didn't really hold back.
Nice. How old are you?
22.
And when you went to your father, how did he react the first time?
The first time I did it kind of soft as well, because there's more conflict between me and my father than than me and my mother, and I kind of grew up being somewhat afraid of him, and so going to him that first time was really tough.
Okay. And now it's easier?
It's easier, but I'm still holding back for sure, I would say.
Why?
He's kind of he's kind of outcasted himself from the world and really doesn't have many people beside him. And and I know he's even told me that, not explicitly, but he loves me more than anybody in the world. Like, I have another brother, and I can tell that me and my father have a tighter relationship than me and my other brother does to him.
Right.
So I feel a lot of pressure, or like holding on to something for him, for his sake.
What do you mean?
Just if I say how I really feel, I feel like he won't have. But again, that's it's not real anyway if I'm just faking it. But that it'll crush him if I really speak up and tell him how I really feel, and that he doesn't. Him and my mom are kind of rocky, and then him and my brother are kind of rocky, and I feel like I'm his only stability.
Oh, I see.
So.
But he's already crushed. Why don't you just stomp him while you're down? But he already know you love him, and by you apologizing for resenting him, that may help him overcome his issues.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Amazing. Last word.
I'm okay. I've said my piece.
You know who that is?
Who, Joel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You black. All right. You still nervous?
I'm all right.
But you still unconscious right now? Are you conscious right now or unconscious?
I'm gonna say unconscious.
And why?
Because I still feel the way I've felt for my troubled years. So, and I was unconscious during that time.
Oh, okay.
So this is really all I know. It's getting better, but this is kind of what I'm working with right now, so to speak.
All right, here's the first step, another step. You know how you sitting here now and you're moving about?
Yeah.
Were you aware you were moving about?
Mm-hmm.
Were you,
once you said it, yeah.
But before you were not aware, right? Be aware of your body at all times. Practice doing those little things.
Okay.
And that'll take you to the next level and next level.
Okay. I noticed that you kind of like do this with is that you doing it with your body?
So what?
Like, I don't know. I've noticed, like, watching your videos, you're maybe it's too far, but like always, yeah, just like stuff like that. Is that you practicing that?
No, because my wrist hurt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And sometimes my knees hurt.
Okay.
And see how Satan telling, oh, he's doing the meditation mode. He's being conscious. But I'm here in pain. All right, man. Thanks for coming up.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, amazing. So let me do this, and then I really want to get to the biblical question.
Right on.
All right. Am I sitting right there? Okay, like this? Okay. The reason I have to be sure because we have this one camera, and if we move about, it'll throw us off. The young lady in the green, talk to me 2 minutes about your fears. Face them, talk about them.
I don't know. I'd be making something up if I don't know.
I'm sorry?
I said I don't know. I think I'd be making something up.
You don't what?
I'd be making something up if I was
Oh,
to
so
say.
you have no fears?
I mean, I'm sure I do, but like none off the top of my head.
You can't think of anything that you feel within at times?
Only like random stuff, like I don't like heights.
You what?
I don't like heights. I went on they made me go on a Ferris wheel, and I was at the top of it crying like a toddler, which was very embarrassing. But other than stuff like that, I'm sure there are some, but.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What are you afraid of losing?
My family.
You afraid of losing them?
Yeah.
And why?
I think that, you know, the way that I've said to you before, the way that I was raised in church and as a Christian and different things like that, there's a lot of emphasis on your family and your husband and different things like that.
And so what does it feel like to be afraid of losing them?
It's painful, but I've been working through that recently, probably the last couple of months or so. And just sitting in that pain when that comes or different situations happen, and I'm aware of it. It's horrible.
And so what brings on the pain at time? You're like going through your day.
Just going through my
no
day.
No thought about your family. Then what happens?
Well, like just to say, you know, situations arise with different family members and different relationships, and I think when that fear or that thought comes and you feel like you might potentially be losing somebody, you just sit in that pain.
So you get a thought out of nowhere that says you're going to lose your family?
No, not out of nowhere, but like in difficult situations or difficult times with my family in England or my family here, I think it's harder with the people that are closer to you, that know you more. So just kind of being aware of when I'm going through it. Like now, recently, I'll try my best to go off, and I'll just kind of sit in my room for a couple of hours and go through that dying feeling.
So you get the fear, you're losing them, you're afraid of them dying or walking away?
Walking away.
Walking away.
Mm-hmm.
And so a thought would come that your family going to walk away from you?
Mm-hmm.
And what do you do with that thought or those thoughts?
I try and see them and let it go.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to let that go. You got to let everything go. And that's a good sign, too. Let it go. Because once you lose the fear of losing everything, no matter what, you're free.
Yeah, it's getting easier. It's getting easier. I'm definitely noticing a difference, but I'm also trying not to have an expectation on how long it should take or how the process should go, or I'm just kind of doing it as each situation arises, depending on the dynamics of the situation, depending on who the person is, just different,
Oh, okay.
the more of the gray area in the situation.
Right on. Amazing. Which would be better for you, for them to walk away physically or die?
Ooh. I think, well, when somebody dies, they're taken. It's gone.
So
there's
you can handle them dying away rather than walking away?
I haven't really given that too much thought. So, I mean, I think once if somebody dies, there's not much you can do about it. You grieve the loss and you keep it moving. Do you know what I mean? But whereas somebody's walking away, you still know that they're around. You know what I mean? Like.
So you're like, oh, thank God they died.
I don't know.
Oh, a mess. Okay. Did you hear the radio show with the young lady that her husband going to divorce her?
I listened to that one. Yes.
Oh, you did? Well, let me hear what she has to say about it first.
Okay.
And then I'll come back to you. How many heard that conversation with the woman afraid of her husband leaving? Okay.
I was actually listening to it, I think yesterday or the other night before I
So
went
what
to
happened
bed.
was a lady called me and she said, my husband listened to you We both been working on ourselves. I still get angry. He's telling me it's taking too long, and he's going to divorce me. Somewhat like that. Okay.
To my memory of the whole situation, just for everyone to understand a little bit, she had a young baby, I think, as well.
Oh, yeah, she had a young
And
child. She didn't know where she was going to live.
She didn't know where she was going to live. She was stopped working because he said stop working to be a stay-at-home mum. He seemed a little bit beta, to be honest, in my opinion. And he didn't seem to me that he was giving her much opportunity to make it work, or not make it work, but overcome. Like, he seemed quite impatient with her overcoming different things, because she didn't say, oh, well, he cheated or I cheated and that's why we are where we are. It was, she didn't really give much of a reason to why he wanted to divorce. But I think from my perspective, I feel like you can't make somebody stay. So I would have said, bye. Do you want me to help you pack your bags?
Oh, okay.
See you later.
And you say he seemed beta?
In my opinion, yeah.
In your opinion?
Yeah.
Hold it, Mike, for a minute. Just when did you think about, just your opinion about it only, real fast?
I immediately took sides, and I took sides with her husband.
With her husband?
Yes.
And why?
Because it seemed to me, I could hear the desperation in her voice. And when she said, but I have been working on myself, at least I think I have. And so for some reason, when she said that, I felt like there was a mask that she was willing to put up, only to the point where where it was enough for her husband, and she wasn't doing it for herself.
Okay. Amazing. Who else heard the show? That particular one. You heard it? Whose side you took? Just that alone, 'cause I gotta move on here. Whose side you took?
I didn't take either side.
You did not. Why not?
Because I didn't know his position in this situation. I didn't hear his position. I just heard her side of what was going on. I understand that also because my wife and I, we've been going on this, and I remember telling her, I said, I'm going to do this whether or not you are.
You gonna leave her?
No, I said, I'm going to take this journey whether or not you're
see.
coming.
Right.
You can come or not, but I'm going.
Oh, okay.
And
I gotta move a little fast. I just want to know what side. Did you have your hair, sir?
Well, I'm saying,
Did you hear the show?
she knows.
Oh, hey, hold on. Did you hear the
Since-
show?
Yeah, yes,
Whose side did you take?
neither,
And why not?
because I don't know the whole story,
Oh, okay. All right.
But I was just wondering if, since she knows that he listens to you and does a silent prayer and has forgiven his mother and all that, watched himself, and that likes you, that if she was trying to use your show and you because she knows that he likes you by calling, to kind of manipulate the situation.
So you thought of all that?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you might well take a side. Just all I want to know is whose side you took.
I took neither side.
And why not?
I just figured it's probably both their faults. It's like you say, two demons fighting each other.
Okay.
So I just figured it was a mess. So that's where I left it. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whose side did you take?
I didn't really take sides, but I felt with her because I thought if he was a real man, he would have said, I'm not going to live with you, but I'm going to make sure that you're okay.
So you took side. You took her side.
I took her side, yeah.
She like, I really didn't take side, but I felt really bad for her, and you took side. Yes. So the last thing on that, what did you think about that conversation while listening?
I thought that there were some details that were missing, and sometimes women leave out the most important details, the details that make them look bad.
Y'all hear that, men? They always leave out the details. Especially the bad part about them.
Yeah. So.
And go ahead.
That's really the main thing. I was like, when something feels missing, then I knew it was like his side is probably going to explain something that was really important.
All right. Yes.
I think it's like you were saying on the show, you kept stressing maybe 3 or 4 times that you haven't heard from him. So I think it's really hard to, not that we should be taking sides anyway, but I think to to really kind of see what's going on. Like you can't do that with just her side. But I do think she sounded quite desperate. And I could definitely understand where she was coming from. But again, she sounded like she was missing some of the details to maybe why he is in the point of saying like bye. You know what I mean?
All right. Rochelle, whose side you took? Did you hear it? I mean, not Rochelle. Lord have mercy. They all look alike to me after a while.
I remember now. At first I didn't, but yeah, I remember hearing that. And
Whose side you took?
neither, but the thing that I did take after the phone call was over was you can't really trust desperation. That was the only thing that I was left with, because I know what that's like, and it just can't be trusted.
Oh, okay. Amazing. And what made me think about the side where you call him a beta? You said beta. So I want to add that. Never, ever, 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 ever take sides. It has nothing to do with you. It's between those two people only, and only they know the real truth. Those two. And so when you do hear a conversation, like, period, if you got to hear it, let it go in one ear and out the other, and watch your ego so you don't take sides. Because the ego is evil, and it always wants you to take sides. So it can keep you in hell. Never, ever take sides. I don't care if it's between your son and his wife, or your daughter and her husband, your friends and everything. Never take sides. It has nothing to do with you. Those are just two devils fighting one another. So don't take sides. That makes sense a little bit? What does it have to do with you? Okay, don't. And then her desperation came out of her imagination. If she loved what's right, and all of a sudden a man want to leave, okay. Stay calm, and that way she could see her way out of that situation. But she panicked with thoughts. Oh, you got a baby, you're homeschooling, where you gonna go? This man don't love you. And the devil, he got her before she could even see her way out of the situation. And I want you to be aware of that so you can watch the thoughts, because the devil tell you right away, this is what's gonna happen. And so you miss the way out because now you're in darkness, overreacting. That makes sense? Stop panicking and watch those thoughts. They're all lies all the time. The devil is your enemy. That makes sense? So watch those things. When I was talking to her about those things, I wasn't taking sides. I was listening to what she has to say, and I saw all of her fears, and they all came out of her imagination. She had no reason to be feared. She still had a roof over her head. The man had not put her out. The baby's fine. Why not have a wait and see? But she's afraid of losing him, and once fear comes in, it's over. Fear is not your friend. It's your enemy. I had someone here last Sunday, I'm sure y'all heard it. Oh, I want to live with my brother. I'm going to move and live with my brother. Why? You're a grown man. He got 2 bedrooms. I bet him. He's not here today. So what? Why? I didn't say it was you. They would not have known it was you had you not said anything.
I'm not a liar. I'm not a liar. I have nothing to hide. Yeah.
What?
I said I have nothing to hide. I'm not a liar. Yeah, no, I love it.
Have you learned anything from last week?
I learned a lot more than just that.
What you realize real fast about yourself from between last week and now that you didn't realize before?
Okay. Well, I was here 2 weeks. I didn't make it last week, but
okay,
the
2
week
weeks
before,
ago.
yeah,
That's amazing. 2 weeks ago. Okay.
Yeah. But I definitely learned that all my brothers are going through the same thing. So why join them in the hell that they're in as well?
Yes.
I did realize that, and especially.
Did your brother call my show? One of your
no,
brothers?
but yeah, my brother called you, and no, not on the show though, just totally off thing, and I told him to
He
call
didn't
you.
call the show, though, huh?
No, I told him to call
Someone called
you.
and sound just like you.
Oh, really? Oh, no, it wasn't
Was
me.
that his brother?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, Office. Yeah, he
Oh,
called.
he called the office.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
yeah.
he called the show. Okay, that's
No,
another
yeah,
thing.
yeah, and I literally just went through with my brother yesterday, and that's why I'm here today because it was crazy what happened yesterday.
Well, you don't have to put your business out there. I thought your brother called the show.
Oh no. But what happened personally? No, this is my issue right now.
Oh,
Is
okay.
I was fighting my thoughts a lot yesterday because my family came over my house, and then my brother brought his kids and everything, and then my cousin came, and then my sister came, and then we all just like hung out. And then, as the guys do and the cousin guys do, like, I don't do it, but like they wanted to wrestle and we were wrestling, Yeah, and we were just fighting. We were just like wrestling and fighting. And then me and my brother go at it, my oldest brother, and then I hurt him, with his ACL and something, and then now everyone's attacking me. His daughter is like hitting me and saying I don't love you anymore, and so
did you say,
literally
okay,
last night was the craziest night I didn't even want to be engaged in it, and it makes me realize like when I tell the family like no, like just leave me alone, like okay, y'all do your thing, I don't want to be a part of it, but whenever they like guilt me and whatever and I do engage, and always something happens wrong, and then last night it was me hurting my brother, and it's like, and I just have all this stuff, and then now I have people this morning telling me, oh, it's all right, da, da, da. I don't even want to hear that. Like I want to completely ignore it, but no one in my family can completely just ignore it. And there was a bunch of girls, that's the reason why my brother was making a big deal. It was a big deal last night, and it's like all we have to do is just take him to the hospital, but my cousin had his girlfriend there, and then he has 2 daughters, and then my mom
let me do this. Okay.
Yeah. It was just crazy last night. I have a crazy last night. That's why I'm here. All right.
The young man and this young lady want to tell you what to do, and we're going to move on.
Okay.
Yes, sir. What would you suggest for him? Uh-huh.
Cut him out of your life?
I can't kill my brother.
He said, cut him out of your life. You said, I can't cut him out?
My brother?
Yeah.
Mike.
Why can't you cut him out of your life?
It's my brother.
Why can't you cut him out of your life?
Okay, look, I get where you're coming from.
No, that was a question.
Okay. I can't cut him out of my life.
Why can't you?
I want to,
Why
but
can't
I can't. I can't because there's something that's just like, if there's anybody that I can go to, it's my brother.
For more hell?
You might be right. See, this is the conflict that I'm going on, because I have this conflict where I'm like, I told them I don't want to do, like, this is what I learned. Forget what happened.
Why can't you cut them out of your life?
I can't cut it because there's something in me that's just like it's my brother though, and I'm gonna make it.
The hell.
I'm the youngest. I'm the youngest out of 3
love
older
the hell.
siblings. I have this young.
You love the misery.
I don't.
You do.
But I'm
you
the
like
youngest.
it when women beat you. Have you ever been beat by a woman? I was just to ask you that.
I've been beat by a woman. Yes, that's true.
Huh?
No.
Oh, okay.
She took my dog. She took my cat. I get it. All right, but I've been dealt with that with women. But I'm talking about with my brother. It's just it's hard. And but one thing.
Because you love it.
But Jesse, can I ask you this?
No. You love it. If you didn't love it, you'd get out of hell.
Jesse, I have this conflict with me with my brother where how come and all my brothers, all my siblings, pretty much everyone.
Everybody have family problems.
Yeah, they don't relate to they don't reciprocate what I reciprocate. They don't,
But nobody reciprocate what they reciprocate.
No. But what I'm saying is that My brother would have loved it. If he broke my shoulder, he
it's not
would have
about your
talked
brother.
about it. But
It's
I
about
felt
you.
bad. But at the same time, I want my brother though. So
You
what?
remind
Am
me
I
of the
sick
guy
in the
in the
head or
yellow
something?
and the green
Like,
shirt.
Someone wants to say what?
I said, you remind me of him.
Oh.
With the new
okay.
bike.
Oh, all right. All right. Well, I don't know. I'm going through something where it's
You
not
love
making
your
sense
hell.
how I feel with my.
You love your hell. You love it. If they tried to get away from you, you would follow them.
But they're my brothers, though.
Right. You follow them right back into hell. You love it.
So I have to. Okay, yeah, that's what I wanted to talk to you.
You
Because,
love it.
No, but there was a part of me.
No, you love it.
No, but there was a part of me yesterday that I was fighting, ironically, that was like, I don't care what happened to him. He chose to
But
wrestle.
you were lying to
He
yourself.
chose to wrestle. He chose to do all this. And why should I be like caring that he hurt himself? He did all this. I even said I didn't even want to do it. But there was a part of me that's like, why am I caring? Like, was fighting the not
Okay,
caring
I
part.
got to move on.
No, but I
Sean
shouldn't have
has
cared.
a-
Jesse, what
a
I'm
bit of
asking
advice,
is that
and then
should I have
this-
cared? Should I care that I hurt my brother or not?
No.
That's what I'm saying. But I was fighting that part
Why
that's
do you
saying not
care?
caring. I don't know. But
How do you know you
I
care?
don't want to care.
How do you know
But
you
I'm
care?
fighting that part.
How do you
That's
know
the
you
thing.
care? How do you know you care that you beat him?
I didn't beat him. See, that's the thing that too.
You
that
broke
was going
his
into my-
shoulder. Why are you crying?
I'm not crying, bro.
What are you doing? You about to cry?
No, what
Go
I'm
sit
saying
next
is,
to the black lady. What are you about to cry about? Why?
I'm not crying, man. What
Why
I'm
you-
saying is that, like, I don't know if it's right or not to not care about my brother.
Why do you? How do you know you care?
Because I'm crying. There. Yeah, Abby. I don't know.
How do you know you care?
I know I care because I care.
How do you know?
Because I want close to them. I want to be close to them.
Why?
Because we were born in the same.
Everybody born in the same family.
Because I don't know. Maybe I have this young
How
mentality.
do you know you care?
This young kid mentality. And
How
I'm
old
the
are you?
youngest. Always been taught that I'm
How
the
old are
youngest.
you?
I know, Jesse. I'm 28 years old.
You ain't young, buddy.
I know what you're saying, man. But what I'm saying is that
You want to date
it's my
him so you can
brothers,
beat him
though.
up?
It's my brothers, though. That's just all
Okay.
I'm saying.
Look,
I heard
how do
him.
you know you care?
You want to know what's funny though is that I bet they wouldn't even care.
How
I
do you know you care? You answer that question for me, man. I got to move on. How do you know you care?
It hurt. It hurt me and made my mind go crazy that I
What-
hurt my brother.
What hurt you?
My emotions, my mind, my thoughts went
Are
crazy.
you your mind?
The silent prayer.
Are you your
helped.
mind?
The silent prayer.
Are you
helped
your mind?
Only so much.
Are you your mind?
No, I'm not.
Are you your emotions?
No.
So how do you know you were hurt?
What I'm saying is that I'm-
How do you know you were hurt if you're not your thoughts and you're not your emotions?
But then that
How
just,
do you know you were hurt if you're not your thoughts and you're not your
I
emotions?
wasn't hurt. I wasn't hurt.
So why you lying then?
But
you up here crying and lying.
No, I'm not. No, what it is is that I'm holding on to that. I believe.
If you're
that
not
my
your
brother-
thought and your emotions, why do you say you were hurt?
Well, how come I look? Help this! I'm begging. I don't know. I don't understand why I feel this way. I don't, Jesse. I don't
Okay.
understand why I feel this
Well,
way.
I understand that.
I 100%
Now
don't
we can
understand.
work with you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, stop pretending you do understand. You don't. Sean my producer wanna tell you something, and the blind wanna tell you something. The Chinese wanna tell you something. Sean, what is your advice for him?
I'd say like when Jesse says that you love it, you love your hell, you know, you love talking about it. You love what you're already in. You love saying what, like when he asks you a question and you don't answer it, you just go with whatever your head is telling you. You know, you love sticking with that. You love sticking with that voice in your head, like, yeah, like it's your friend. So when you're saying that you don't want to give up on your brother, you don't want to give up on how you feel about him. You don't want to give up on the stuff that you feel about him. And you're sticking with that thing inside you that you think is you. It has nothing to do with him.
Even a little crying saying, oh, I just love it. Oh, this feels so good. This feels like love.
It may feel like it has something to do with him, like you're thinking about him, but it's all about you.
You could care two penny about your brother. You're acting. And it feels good to act. White people are a mess, huh? And here we all think you're superior. The young lady want to add, and then, right there. And then we'll move on. Yes.
If I was your brother, I would probably wrestle you also.
And break your arm.
Because I feel, even now, I started to feel frustrated because I feel like you're not listening, and maybe your brother feels like you're not listening, and you can't understand him if you don't listen. And maybe that's the only way he felt like he could get you to listen or to kind of change direction, and he just wrestled you. And I would probably too, if that was how the conversation would be going.
You're pitiful, man. You're pathetic. You look pathetic right now sitting there.
You're right, man.
But then you don't have to be, though. Come back, don't leave.
You're completely right.
Come back. No, come back. Don't run. Face it.
No, I'm not running, bro. You're right, dude.
But face it. Relax.
I'm talking about my issues, man. I'm so stupid. Stay.
No.
We all want you to stay. We want you to stay.
Let him go. Don't tell him to stay. I'm just playing. What do you say about that?
I was gonna tell him that I think that he wants.
Where's the mic? Oh.
I was gonna tell him that I think that he wants something from his brothers, and then they're gonna use that to control
His
him.
issues are not about his brother at all. It's all about him.
That's
He
for
could
sure.
care less about his brother.
And also, I haven't seen the movie Nefarious yet, but I feel like I just watched it right now.
So what?
I haven't seen the movie Nefarious yet, but I felt like I just watched it right
You
now.
did. Yeah. Absolutely. Very good point. What do you think about that? What you just saw?
I think that
Speak aloud for me.
he needs to let his brothers go. He needs to let go of his brothers.
Yes.
He needs to focus on himself.
Absolutely.
He said, should I tell him what you said? He said he smelled vodka.
He's your what?
He said he smelled vodka.
What?
Smell like vodka.
Oh, you drunk right now? Oh, you smell alcohol?
Smell like, I had coworkers who would always drink all the time. They smell exactly like that.
Oh, okay. All right. Amazing. Let me do this first because of time. Did I ask who was somebody? I forgot who I asked. Oh, he's gone now, but and Sally ain't been drinking. Do you want to comment on that? What you just saw?
I seen, because my mom was an alcoholic, so I seen that there was some intoxication there. I seen that. And then what the lady in the black said, that's exactly what I was thinking too, that he just needs to let it all go and work on himself.
Oh, okay. Amazing. Yes.
Everything that you just saw was a complete act from the beginning to the storm out.
Right, that's why he said it was that movie. Amazing.
I don't think he prayed on any of that.
What?
I don't think he prayed on any of that.
He prayed on it?
You can't. He's lying to himself, and you can't lie
Yeah.
to God.
Yeah.
I don't think he prayed on any of that. Because if you pray on something like that, you're not able to lie to God.
Yeah.
Because it's just not possible.
The interesting thing about it, he's everybody in this room. We're all the same.
Right.
The devil does the same thing to everyone until you start to wake up.
And he
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. No, finish your point.
I was just gonna say he looked like one of the O'Doyle brothers from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. They're always like
we
wrestling
don't
and
want
stuff.
name
It's kind of
call.
funny.
We don't want name call. Yes, ma'am.
So like you said, we're all just like that situation.
Just like that situation.
And I completely
There's
relate
not
to
one
that.
in this room or anywhere in the world.
And
that's
so
not.
what I noticed in that situation, I do in other ways in different circumstances. But my question is, why is it when what's in front of you is seen, how come it's so hard to be still? That's what all the loud talking and the over talking.
Yeah.
I do the same thing, it's just in different ways.
Yeah.
And I almost feel like I'm being controlled by something. Like I can't shut up, you
Yeah.
know, and he couldn't either.
Right.
And it was like there's
That's
just
why I
this-
wanted him to sit still and
he
go
couldn't be
through it.
still. And
Yeah.
there's moments in my life where I just cannot be still.
That is a really good question. Why couldn't he sit there and deal with it? Why couldn't he be still and go through it? All right. Let me take this young lady first. She wanted to respond, and then I saw your hand. I thought I saw it. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Why couldn't he? Can you relate to the fact that he couldn't sit still or wouldn't sit still through it?
Mm-hmm.
And why? Why couldn't he sit still through it?
He just gave the enemy full control of his life. In that moment, he seemed very. He seemed to
Is he
enjoy
still
his
here? Oh.
I mean, now that we've learned that it's, liquor induced, but before learning that, he just seemed very beta. He seemed very much like someone who loves his hell. Every time you told him something of benefit or value, his response was, "I know, but." So whenever I hear that, but, I know, but, okay, but you've just negated everything that came before
Can you
that.
relate to not being able to sit through it though? Like the young lady was saying, she does that too. At times she can't sit through it. Can you relate to that?
Yes.
And how?
For example, I was watching your latest episode of Fallen State, and it was
What
very
a
difficult.
mess! Did y'all see that? Well, go ahead.
And that woman, my response to the biblical question, she exemplified it. It was very difficult for me to watch her. I kept having to look at myself. You know how you always say, if it takes 1,000 times during the day, stop and come back. I kept having to come back and say that's the same demon in me that's in this woman. But she exemplified what you always say about women, and she was the living example of my answer to the biblical question.
And so, what do you do when those moments come when you can't sit through it?
I come back
when
to
it's
the
about
present.
you.
I come back to the present.
Well,
Now
okay.
Whenever I'm unable to sit and see myself, it's because I'm in my head.
Oh, okay.
So I just come back. That's all I can do.
Okay. Let me do this because of time. Is this your first time here?
No, not mine.
Oh, did I see your hand? Oh,
I just wanted to comment on just say something.
Okay.
The gentleman walking out. That's what we all face all the time.
Meaning what?
Meaning that the voice that he's hearing in his head, that's telling him to feel this way. I feel this way about my brothers, all
Yeah.
this stuff. We're not judging you, by the way, for walking out. You're welcome back anytime.
Oh, he'll be back.
Yeah, but that's just the spirit of anger, the spirit of evil inside of all of us, the ego that's driving us to make these rationales. That's why he couldn't answer your questions. That's why he couldn't sit through all this stuff. So
Can you relate to that?
I could definitely relate to that. I've been
Okay.
through it, and I still go through it all the time. But I try to be silent, be still, and know God, and let that help me face
Nice.
the realities.
Is this your first time here? I can't hear you.
Yes.
Yes.
And what's your name? Your first name?
Monique.
What?
Monique.
Monique. And Could you relate to what he was going through?
Yes.
In what way?
It's really hard to hold a mirror up to yourself in those moments and recognize that you are that moment. And if you just, like you said, be still, so much would just it would just fall away.
Yeah.
It really would. It's not there to begin with.
I really, 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 really want to urge you. You're not going to overcome this old nature until you learn to sit through it. You got to sit through it. The thoughts and the pain, the embarrassment, the loss of these fake identities you have about yourself, the loss of what others think about you. You got to sit through it. It's not enough to just forgive, which is the beginning of overcoming. You forgive, but then the ego has to die. This false nature of yours has to die, and it's not going to die until you can sit through it. You got to stop running from it. You got to go through it. You got to feel embarrassed. You got, because it's all fake anyway. You got to feel embarrassed. You got to feel hurt. You got to feel mad. You got to go through it and just go through it. And the light of God that is allowing you to see this thing is there will let you know it's not you, and you will go through it. And it'll die. In order to live, you must die, and that's what must die. The fear, the doubt, the worry, the everything you think you are. That makes sense? It is easier said than done for most people. I can say it, but I won't say their name. Two of my employees got into an argument with one another, right? And so I would call into it, so I went down, and they were arguing with one another. I was like, okay, we'll handle the other situation, but look how you're feeling. Look at you right now. Why? How come this person is making you feel a certain way, and you're overreacting to that person? They wouldn't even hear it. They couldn't even hear it. I'm like, here the boss, I could have fired him, right? But I'm trying to be holy and help them overcome. I'm like, the situation, what you're feeling has nothing to do with that person. And what that person is feeling has nothing to do with you. But they were like bulldogs with one another. They couldn't even hear it. They wouldn't even stop and say, oh yeah, that's right. Because their situation had nothing to do with what they were feeling either. It's hard, if you're not paying attention, to go through it. You got to go through it. You got to die if you want to live. And if somebody is hurting your feelings, they're not hurting you. They're hurting your fake identity that you have identified with. Had he sat there and felt whatever he needed to feel, whatever he was thinking, and went through it, he'll be free today. Right now, he'll be free. And whatever happened, it won't affect you. You know what I mean? That was a bird? See, Jesus told the truth. Jesus told the truth, and the bird died. And now we're going to bring life back to it. But anyway, yes. Right here, Sean. It's a bird ran into the window. Don't let the homeless people see it. They might eat it. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. All right. You raise your hand for something.
There's something I just noticed when you were talking that I'm definitely going to watch, is that I noticed that you asked me that question multiple times before I gave you a direct answer. And in this moment, I'm noticing that I did not want to admit that I could relate to that. I know I have my own fair share of demons, but they're not that bad. My demons are different from your demons.
That's right. I'm bad, but he's worse. That's a good notice. Did I see your hair? Oh, what's in your hair? Oh, it was Joel. He black. And then here.
I was just gonna mention that I think the first thing to enduring is first admitting that you enjoy it, because it's hard to endure, or if you do endure, it's just like an intellectual thing, and then you try, and then you burn out from enduring. But I think there has to be, in my opinion, the first acknowledging that you enjoy it, or seeing that you actually enjoy these things. You love the hell.
But when it's painful, you don't think that you're enjoying it.
Right, but the thing is that we have to be willing to go through it. But first, we have to recognize that we're not going through it. We're running away, like we're getting embarrassed. It's because we like the escape of it. We enjoy the escape of running away or the embarrassment.
Amazing. But you know that the pain doesn't feel like enjoyment, right? If you like feeling embarrassment or you feeling hurt from losing someone or something,
Right.
you're not gonna say, I'm enjoying this.
But no, I'm
But
saying
it
like,
is enjoyment. They all loving it, but it doesn't feel like it.
right. But that's what I'm saying. We have to get to the point where we recognize that we are enjoying it, though. We enjoy
They
the
love the
escape of
thrill.
it. Yeah.
He's right. Even a bad thrill, you love the bad thrill. Or a so-called good thrill, you love the good thrill. Isn't that amazing? My wife leaving me, I'm hurt, but it feels good. Lord have mercy. Yes, sir. The guy behind you been waiting a minute.
Okay, so that was very aligned with what I read this morning in the Bible when Moses struck the rock. Because the thing is, we're not patient enough to go through the hell that we need to go through. And when God spoke to Moses and said, I command you to go to the rock, he instead struck it out of frustration. And that was that gentleman. We've all been there. Well, we're not listening to just listen. We're instead trying to fight the hell.
Yeah.
And like the lovely lady said over here about, we've all been there. Like, I
You
saw
call her
that.
lovely?
Oh, well, respect.
What the?
What the?
Nah, I'm
But
playing.
essentially, like we've all
I'm
been
playing.
there, and I think at the end of the day, like we were here 2 weeks ago and we heard his predicament and how he was trying to escape. I think we've all been there where we're trying to escape our hell, but we allow
Everybody's there right now.
Yeah.
Nobody in this room is free yet.
No.
Not one.
And it's like what you said about the biblical question: what's trapping us?
Well, hold that.
Okay. Well, basically,
Oh,
the
that's
big
not the
dog
biblical
got him.
question.
Essentially, not the little ones. The big dog got him.
Well, that's not the new biblical question.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice. You're
That's where
right.
we're at, yeah.
The young man in blue want to respond to all. What do you think about all you've seen and heard this morning?
A little crazy, yeah. One thing I do say, though, I don't think we should speculate about whether he was drunk or not, because that's not going to help anything.
I agree.
And then I got one more question for you. So you're telling us to go through it, right? But wouldn't that apply, too, to, like, your brother, staying with your brother, not cutting out your family? You got to go through that?
No.
Right?
With other human beings, if you're waking up and they're not waking up, it's best to get far away because they'll destroy you.
But can't you help them wake up?
No. You can't even help yourself to wake up.
Only God can, right?
Right.
So you got to show them God.
No. It's not your responsibility to show them God. It's your responsibility for you to return to the Father, and you will become the light. And whomever is seeking the light will see something about you, and they will ask you about it.
But
They will
aren't
come
we
to
supposed
you.
to spread the word, though?
I'm sorry?
Aren't we supposed to spread the word?
No. Where'd you get that from, spread the word?
The Bible.
What the Bible? The Bible says that?
Yeah.
What
Right.
does it say?
I don't know the exact quoting.
Oh, but in the Bible it says spread the word?
I could probably pull up a quote, yeah.
I'm sorry?
I could pull up a quote.
What? I don't know if it says that. It might say it. But when you become the light, you are the light of the world.
And isn't the
And
light
so-
supposed to shine to other people?
Right. And it will, but not without you being aware of it. You don't feel it. You're not trying to be the light.
Well, we have to actively repent, right? So you have to feel it.
So what now?
We've got to actively repent against sin, right?
Well, when you admit that you have anger is hatred, and you're playing God, that is what you are. You are saying, I'm wrong for playing God. That is what your repentance of. And then once you wake up, now all your identity, your vices and everything, which is your old nature, will be taken away because they're no longer you, and they were never you.
So you're saying anger is wrong?
Anger is evil.
But what about justified anger? When you're angry against things of the world, people sinning.
Give me an example of anger against the world. Are you angry at the world?
No.
Are you angry against the world?
Yeah.
And what are you angry about against the world?
The complete just separation from God.
I'm sorry?
Separation from God?
That they are separated or you're separated?
The world. Everyone.
Meaning other people?
Yeah.
You're angry that other people are separated from God?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they're gonna burn in hell for eternity.
And
Well,
why would you be angry about that?
I don't want them to burn in hell
Why not?
because they've got a soul and they reflect God. We're made in His image.
And what good is it doing you not to want that from them and to be angry about it?
Because it encouraged me to then go spread the word and help
But
them.
they don't want to hear it.
Then I show them and they can decide for themselves.
But God has already done that, and they reject it.
But people need encouragement.
I'm sorry?
People need encouragement.
No, they don't.
Why not?
Because the more you encourage them, the deeper they go into their hell. People have to want to come out of hell. As Joel, somebody said earlier, they have to want it. Have you noticed that God's not bad about them being in hell, right? Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
And he and his son Jesus, they get up every morning. They go over to Cafe Mocha. Well, Jesus, you know, God asked Jesus early in the morning, "What do you want for breakfast, Daddy?" He like, "I want a Cafe Mocha and egg bites." And so,
manna.
And so Jesus said, "All right." And so God turned on the TV, have everything warm up because Wi-Fi might not be working. And so they get the Wi-Fi thing going, and he watched people suffer in hell. And they have a good breakfast. He doesn't feel anything about it. For those who are seeking, he'll give you warning signs so you can find your way, but he'll let everybody else just die in hell. He's not going to be mad about it. He's not holding it against them. He made the way. Either you find a way by crying out to him or you die in your hell. So why should you care? Why should you be mad at them because they don't want to get out? Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, so you're assuming God isn't mad. You don't think he's sad that people burn in hell for all eternity, separated from him?
No, not at all, because if God was sad about it, he could just beep everybody up right now.
That's what sin is. Sin separates you from God. It's
Anger
your free
does
will,
that.
Right?
That's what anger does, is separate you
So
from God.
he can be mad that you choose not to go for him, but he's not going to do anything
Why would he
against
be
it.
mad about it?
Because he wants you to spend eternity with him to worship him.
Right, but he's not going to be mad about it. He wanted, if you want it, he made the way so you can just come home, right? But if you don't want to come home, he'll leave you out there in the desert.
But he would be sad. He would
No,
be sad
why
that
would he
the
be
sheep's
sad?
all alone, right?
No, he wouldn't. There's no sadness in God. There's only perfect peace.
Well, he's got emotions, and we reflect his emotions.
God doesn't have any emotions.
That's
He's a dispassionate God.
well.
Satan
There's
has
so many
emotions.
instances in the Old Testament though where he'll get mad, he'll open up the grounds and cast them out, right? So he
Who
does
did
have
that?
anger. God.
The Old Testament is gone. We have a New Testament now. And everything we're looking
Same God
for.
though. Different
Everything-
different set of heuristics,
But
right?
in the Old Testament, people didn't have any way out. Now we have a
They
New
had a way
Testament.
out. They had sacrifices.
There's a New Testament that's inside of us now. The kingdom of heaven, everything is done. The resurrection is done. Everything is completed. And it's inside of us. And anyone that get mad or sad for another person think that they're God and they're on an ego trip. And they're comparing their lower nature, the human nature, to the nature of God, not knowing they're worshiping the devil.
But even in the New Testament, we see God in the form of man, Jesus. He gets
What?
mad at people for selling things at the market, right?
No, he wasn't mad about it. Not
He was
the
mad.
human-
He was going
not
around. He
human
was
mad.
flipping over tables, right?
Not human mad, but I understand why you think that way, but no. You could turn over the table without being mad.
I think it says he was angered. He got angered.
But not human anger. Human
He was
beings
a
are
human,
compa-
though.
human
He's fully
beings are-
human, fully God, right?
What?
He's fully human, fully God.
What does that mean?
Well, this is speculation, but I think in a fourth-dimensional being in a three-dimensional plane, we can't really understand what that means.
So you're speculating about God?
I'm speculating about how a four-dimensional being would be perceived in a three-dimensional
But
world.
if your mind is not of his mind not yours, how can you speculate?
It's not speculation on God, it's speculation on physics.
I'm sorry?
It's speculation on physics.
On physics?
Physics.
Who is that?
Kinematics. Yes.
So you said something, man, I got to end it because of time, but you said God is fully man, full of what?
Jesus is fully man, fully God.
What does that mean?
I don't know what it means because I'm a
But
three-dimensional mind.
Well, why are you saying it and you don't know what it means?
Well, because it says it in the Bible.
Where's that in the Bible?
Again, I don't have the verses
Well,
memorized.
come back next Sunday with all your little Bible verses.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah. Yes,
But
sir.
I like it. So come back next Sunday
Yes,
with
sir.
with your little Bible verses. Full of man, full of woman. Whatever you say. Put your hand down. Just for now, because of time. I got to get to the biblical question. All right? Who knows what the biblical question is? Okay. My biblical question person always remind me. What is the biblical question?
What is hell?
And you say, the biblical question is, what is hell? And you say,
Well, I say that it's easy for every answer to be the thoughts. So that is not my answer. My answer is women.
women?
Mhm.
You say women in hell?
Yeah.
Amen.
Can I just
No,
can I
but-
expound a little?
Yeah.
You know, and this is so real for me. Like this is like I need some advice actually. I freelance, and when I'm booked for a job and there's a man that I'm interfacing, everything is smooth, everything is delightful. But when it's a woman, it's like demons left, right, and center. And I'm constantly having to hit the reset to be in my head. Danielle, you have the same demons. Don't judge, don't judge. But it is so difficult, and it relates to that woman. I nearly turned off that interview. I nearly stopped it, and I'm like, I love Jesse, but I just can't with this one. And
That was a Florida State interview from last Friday, if y'all didn't catch it. The FloridaState.tv.
I forced myself to push through that interview, but I really have a judgment problem with women. Like, I don't like women. I don't enjoy, I just, like, if they haven't turned back to God, I don't enjoy my time around them. Like, when I go on these jobs, it's lunchtime. Hey, you want to go to lunch? No, I got work to do.
You still think she's a lovely lady?
Yes. I've turned back to God, though, so I'm a little bit different. But how do I handle, like, what is your advice?
You're judging. If you understand yourself that it's not you, it's something else driving them, you will understand that about all human beings, and you will never judge. And so when you are out doing your work or having fun, and they're acting out, you will see it, but you will have no opinion because you will understand.
Okay.
You're judging them.
I
They
know,
can't
but
help
that's
it.
easier said than done, Jesse.
What do you mean?
Like, it really is. I mean, you've been doing this because I was thinking about it. I was pondering it. And I'm like, look at Jesse. He is not moved by her. Like, I would be like, look, it's my show.
I'm
Could
telling
you
you
please
that
stop talking and let me get the word out? But
I'm telling you, you're judging. If you didn't judge, for you, everything would go well.
what I'm saying,
And you listen to the voices of Satan telling you, look at this woman. She is so nasty. She is so mean. I just don't like women. And you're going with those voices rather than just observing them, but yet staying present and doing what you got to do. You're being distracted by evil.
so you don't believe it takes time to get to because I realize you've been doing this for 30 years, right?
But you still listen to the devil.
year in.
God can change you just like that. Don't put a time on it. He's not about time at all. He's always about now. But the devil tell you, look at Jesse, he's been doing it for 30 years. He's older than dirt. It's going to take me that long, right? You're still listening to the devil.
Okay, I mean, it seems it seems easier said than done. I mean, I get what you're saying, and I do agree. But when I'm in these situations, it just happens. So what are you saying in a practical way, like when I'm in the moment?
Just watch it.
Okay.
All you have to do is just watch. If the devil is working on your mind while you're in a situation, watch the devil, but take care of the situation if you can. Just watch. You got to be a good watchman. You got to sit at the gate and watch.
Okay. Okay.
Really, it'll change everything.
I'll task myself with that
Right
this
on.
week. Thank you.
Hassan, you had your hand. And then the young lady, and then we'll move fast with the biblical question. Yes, Hassan.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, what is hell? But also,
what is hell?
Yeah. Well, hell is like glass windows and stairs because they're evil. The way we design, that's why that poor bird died. But
repeat that.
Like stairs, if you think about stairs and glass windows and the way we design things, it's very evil. How we. Anyway, but.
Thank you.
Do you agree that, like, kind of what this gentleman was saying about Jesus, and like, do you agree that people's perception of Jesus, when he was flipping the tables or whatever, they perceived him to be angry, so their perception possibly could have been wrong.
100%.
So
perceptions are always wrong.
Yeah. So is it possible that in this analogy you gave with the employees fighting, is it possible that the person could have been just speaking the facts like Jesus, but people's perception was wrong?
No. Go play with your doll. That's wrong.
Okay. We should ban windows, though.
The biblical question. Did you have your hand up about the biblical question?
What is hell?
What is hell?
I think it's somewhat of a lowering of being below, because like you've referenced to us being a self that is allowing God to use us and be the light, and I think that anytime we operate under that with our thoughts, there's a heaviness, and it's I don't know how to describe it, but it's something where you're operating below.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, Joel. Then I'm gonna move faster. Make it short. Make it pithy. Right? I'm white. Yes.
Even with
what is hell?
Well, really quick, I just want to say what Danielle was saying about the going with the thoughts and the judging thing. I understand what she means as well, but even that makes the example of there's still an enjoyment of that. The enjoyment of judging somebody else, and we all go through, right? But the enjoyment of thinking that you're better, they know less, you know more, which answers the biblical question, what is hell? And it's just knowledge, perception of us thinking, well, she's dumb, I'm smart, so I'm right, she's wrong, but that's perception. It's just knowledge. So hell is just knowledge.
Make it pithy.
Oh, that's it.
Okay. Anchor Baby, what is hell? That's the Anchor Baby. Check out his show. American Anchor Baby, yeah. What is hell?
Anything taking me out of my awareness.
Okay.
In the moment.
Amazing. Yes, ma'am, and then here.
Unconsciousness is hell.
Okay. Yes.
Hell is the absence of the light of Father God.
The absolute light of Father. Okay. Yes. Real fast moving here.
Hell is the world you're trying to create. So
Okay.
you are replacing God in that creation.
Okay. Did I see your hand?
Short,
Okay.
short and sweet.
Okay.
Any moment of time by action that's separating you from God, whether it be like anger, envy, jealousy, emotion, all that, and also intellectually. Any moment of time could be a second, split second, or it could be months, or it could be years, intellectually separating yourself from God, and then
Pithy.
and then when you die, the real hell.
Okay. Okay. Yes, sir.
Hell is a real place after this life. It's the lake of fire. It is Gehenna. It is where Judas went, and it is where Satan will go when he's cast
Okay.
into that lake of fire.
Amazing. The young man right next to you.
Hell is being in your head too much and not being in reality.
Are you in hell?
No,
You're not in hell?
I don't believe so.
You're not in hell?
I mean, the world is kind of hell, but
You're not in hell?
no, sir.
Are you in hell?
No, sir.
Then why are you in your head?
I'm not in my head.
You never in your head?
But I used to be.
You never do it anymore?
Not that much, no.
Do you ever do it anymore?
Tiny bit, maybe.
Do you ever do it anymore?
Not enough for it to be a problem.
Do you ever do it anymore?
Yes, yes.
Oh, and the black hat. What is hell?
Hell is separation from God.
I'm sorry?
Separation from God.
Okay, the young man behind you want to respond.
Hell is just not being able to get over what you need to be doing.
Oh, okay. The young man with the new bike.
Hell is being in your thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Simple as that. I mean, that's what everybody's trying to say, but hell is simply being in your thoughts, being your feelings, and being your emotions.
Okay. Yes, Raymond. Is your name Raymond? Is that his name, Raymond? That's your name? Oh, no, I thought it was your name. That's what I'm asking. Oh, okay. Yes, Raymond.
Hell is addition to your anger. And I saw that in that wimpy play actor who was crying at the bar a few minutes ago.
What?
That man who was crying at the bar.
Leave that man alone.
He just better pray.
Leave that man alone.
Fine, I'll leave him alone.
Thank you.
But I just say, I just saw addiction to anger. And
Make sure
that's
y'all
hell.
don't judge the guy. Everybody here is the same. Right. Yes, sir, the man behind you. Yes, sir. What is hell?
It's the place where the man with the pointy stick conducts his business.
Oh, okay. Amazing. Yes, sir.
Hell is the absence of peace in one's life, and the absence of peace is the absence of God. So
Okay.
hell is the absence of God.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Bible thumper. What is hell?
I think it's Los Angeles.
He's the only one got it right. He's the only one that got that one right. Amazing. Last word. And then hate got the last word. Yes, sir.
I believe it's the willful engagement in our lower nature, and it's the identification with the spirit of evil.
Oh, okay. Yes, hate. Of the hate report.
I'm not sure.
You're not sure? Yes, Sean. The best producer on this side of heaven.
I think it's anytime you believe a thought, you're in hell. And anytime you disbelieve it, you're not.
Amazing. She's dying to respond. Yeah, I see it all over you. Are you shy?
No.
You never be shy?
No.
Come up here. Do you mind being on camera before you come?
Yeah, I mind. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. What is hell?
The mind.
The mind? Speaking to the mic.
Mind.
What
The
do you mean
mind.
by that?
I think that your mind is where it takes you anywhere you go, right? Your mind is in control. I mean, you're in control of your mind, but once your mind becomes in control, you're in hell.
You smell good.
Thanks.
Your mom made you put that on?
You think I look like this and I don't smell good?
That's right.
I'm just kidding.
What's your name?
Layla.
This your first time here?
Yes.
Right on. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right. I heard the perfect example of what hell is. This is not me. I heard it and it rang true. Hell is not knowing who you are while still wanting to be somebody. Not knowing who you are while still wanting to be someone. As long as you want to be somebody, you're in hell. And you never will know who you truly are because you want to be somebody. That is so deep I can hardly stand it. Give up wanting to be anybody. Give up identifying as anybody or anything. You're nothing. Then you will know you. And everyone that wants to be somebody is in hell. Isn't that amazing? I love that. And I want to encourage you to stop judging. It's not impossible to live a non-judgmental life if you understand what's going on with you. When you can know you, you're going to know the whole world, and you will not judge the world because you will see that they can't see. Isn't that right?
Amen.
Amen. Does that make sense? May. What do you think about that?
I think it cuts through a lot. Right when you said it, it was something that I just had to hold on to.
Yeah. Nice. What do you think about it?
I agree. It resonates. I'm working.
Every
on it.
human being want to be important. You're nothing. Every human being want to be known. You want to be this. You got the false identities about yourself. And in order to live, your false identities must die. You're nothing. And you can't even imagine who you are until you overcome the illusion of who you are. You cannot even imagine who you are. Your thoughts are not God's thoughts. Your ways are not His. His voice is a voiceless voice. All right? His voice is a voiceless voice. And you have to, the young man spoke of the light. You have to be the light. We are the light of the world, salt of the earth. But you're not going to walk around thinking, I'm the light. I'm trying to save somebody. You can't save nobody. You don't see Jesus coming down anymore trying to save you. The work is done. Either you accept it or stay in your hell. And your intellect is your hell. All intellectual people are in hell, all in the name of Jesus, with the scriptures and everything. The more scripture you remember, the deeper you are into hell, because you think you know. And now you got to be a Christian. You got to act a certain way, or an intellectual person with a degree. Amazing, huh? You're nobody. Stop trying to be it. Let all identities die. Amazing. Yes, May.
Is God always in control?
Yes.
Okay. Because when you said that, you've known how I feel about my job. And now I feel like I can go and not hate it. I can just do the work. I don't have to be this person that either loves it or is trying to change something.
That's right.
I can just do the job.
That's right. You don't have a job to love your job. You have a job to make money and to help the person that hired you business work. You're not there, oh, I love my job. I just love what I do. You're lying because as soon as the boss don't give you a raise, now you're ticked. Well, what about, I thought you loved the job, so I let you do it free. If you love it so much, why do I have to pay you? You know what I mean? All the identities must die. God said in order to live, you must die. Once you go and forgive, the sin is the anger. Anger is judgment. It used to be called hate, but they changed it down through the years to call it hatred. Who's going to say, I hate my mama? But you really do. But hate is evil. Hate is resentment. Hate is anger. And hate is the nature of the devil. And everyone that has anger has no love. It's all about self. So see in yourself that you have this anger. Go and forgive your mother. All who are born through the woman must forgive her. The woman is the gates of hell. The hell come through the woman. And forgive your father for not being able to deal with the hell in your mother, because the hell in your mother is his mother. He became attracted to what he hates. Fathers love their children. When they leave the mother. They do not leave the children. But the mama tell you, oh, daddy didn't love you, right? He's lying. So forgive. And once you forgive, the light will come on inside the kingdom, and God will start to bring you out of the darkness of your imagination, all these false identities, and they will die. And so in closing, if someone makes you feel any kind of a way at all, if they make you feel good, if they make you feel anger, if they make you feel doubt, if they make you lonely, if they make that's something you got to overcome. It's not you. Don't identify with it. Die away from it. And you'll be able to live in this world wanting nothing. And yet you have it all. You got to die from the world, from your ego nature. All right? I do. So thank you. Work on that. Work on you. Take it out. You can't save nobody. Look at all the bombs on the street. You think if God cared about saving them, he wouldn't come and wipe them and help them? He's already made the way. He let the bomb live in the road so those who think they can save the bomb get used by the bomb. Get a false sense of love. Isn't that amazing? It's time to wake up, and wake up as individuals. You got to take this straight, as someone said earlier, you got to take this straight and narrow path by yourself. And it'll be wonderful if you stay with it. The brand new biblical question. Oh, I said that. What is it? I can't find it. What was the hake? Well, he can't find it. Oh, okay. The mic. Oh, give it him. Oh, that's all right. That's all right.
Do you know God? Who is God?
Do you know God and who is God? Do you know God and who is God? Let me ask you, Bible thumper. Do you know God?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm sorry?
I like to think so.
You know God?
Yeah.
And who is God?
He's the embodiment of love. Or he's what we define as love and perfection.
What does that mean?
It means, so you know what the difference between good and evil is?
Yes.
What?
No, just answer the question.
Oh, okay. Good is something that's closer to God. Evil, farther away.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So that's what, it's our definition, is good. That is what God is, perfection.
Your definition of good is what God is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Are you good?
No, because I'm human.
Are you good?
No.
So you could know God and not be good?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Because even devils know God.
Oh, you think so, huh?
Yeah. They know him. They don't follow him.
Make
they
sure
know.
you come back next time with your little Bible stuff.
Okay.
Amazing. Right here. Do you know God? How old are you?
25.
Oh, you look so young. Do you know God?
Not as much
Let me
as I
sing it to the
should.
mic.
Not as much as I should.
You know him a little bit?
I mean, I used to know him more, but we're estranged recently.
why?
Not like that, but I just been not as into him as I used to be.
Why not?
Because my mom is Christian and my dad is Muslim,
Oh,
and whenever
man.
I would go to church and go to the Connect group and all that, they would argue. And so I thought, well, I don't want to be the reason that they argue.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And did you forgive them?
Mm-hmm.
You told them?
Well, I've forgiven my mom, but I don't think I've forgiven my dad yet
Why not?
because he's crazy.
He's crazy?
He's crazy.
You a Muslim?
He is.
I understand it. Be careful. No. What have your father ever done to you?
In what way?
Any way that made you angry at him?
Well, he completely cut me out of his life and hasn't spoken to me for a year because I have a boyfriend.
Oh, my God.
That's the most recent thing.
Is he a Muslim too?
Who, my boyfriend? No.
You a Christian?
Yeah, he's Puerto Rican and Dominican.
Wow, you're in trouble. And so your father don't want you to have a boyfriend?
Mm-mm.
And why not?
Because, I'm supposed to... I don't know if he expects me to be, get an arranged marriage or something, but he definitely just doesn't want me to date and, lay with a man. Or even have... I wasn't even allowed to have friends that were boys.
Oh, I see. And how does he know you're laying with him?
My older brother, who's 30 years old, told on me.
Well, how did he know?
Oh, wait, he doesn't know I'm laying with him.
Oh. I was going to say, don't go home tonight. No. But why did you say he doesn't want me to lay with him?
Well, okay. I haven't spoken to him in a year, right? But I still speak to my mother.
Right.
And when I ask her how dad is, she's like, well, he just thinks you're going to get pregnant. That's what he just focused on my vagina. That's what he thinks about.
On your what?
My...
VJ.
Mm-hmm.
Don't say vagina.
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I'll mess with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's church. This is church.
That's right. You got to forgive your father and not take your mother's word about him at all. You got to go to him. Otherwise, you're going to suffer.
Well, he doesn't want to talk to me.
But, he won't talk to you? Have you tried to talk to him? Oh, so he won't FaceTime with you or anything?
Nothing. I even went all the way back to Texas to see him, and he didn't want to see me.
Oh, he won't see you. All right. Well, forgive him. He can't help himself. Because if you don't love your father, you're never going to, even the man you pick going to be the wrong man. And you would never know God as long as you resent your father.
Let's talk a little more about that.
About the wrong man? Have you already beat him?
Beat him? No.
You haven't slapped him yet?
No, I've never slapped him.
And why?
Because I'm not that kind of person.
She hasn't slapped you yet? Not yet. Not yet. Have you tried to encourage her to forgive her father?
Yeah, of course. But it's hard because that's just a world that I'm not familiar with.
Right.
I don't know how it is to come up Muslim, and especially the divide between Christian and Muslim upbringings.
Are you scared?
Am I scared?
That you, with a Muslim woman, all this mess going on?
I'm not Muslim. I was never Muslim. I was raised Christian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
No, I'm not scared of that.
Yeah. Well, here's what I recommend. You got to forgive your father. Whatever he's doing, however he's acting, is in him. It has nothing to do with you. He loves you. He just doesn't know how to deal with the issues of life because he has his anger. He's been taught wrong. He can't help it. And then that way, you have yourself a decent man, it seems. It's going to work out fine, but if you don't forgive your father, it's not going to work. You'll have a right to resent your father. That makes sense? So forgive him. Even if you can't tell him, realize he just can't help it. Like, I can't help myself, others can't help themselves. My father cannot help himself, so I'm not going to hold anything against him. All right? And from this day forward, do not believe anything that your mother tell you about him. If she's say, oh, your father is mad because you're VJ, whatever, don't even have that conversation. Did you say something about a VJ and your mama?
Well, like in the Muslim culture,
Right.
they are just like when it comes to women, that's what they're women are just a reproductive organ, basically, in like the Middle East.
Nice. But your father, maybe, I don't know how the Muslims operate with that totally. I know somewhat about it. But all fathers would rather for their daughters to be married before they have sex.
Yeah.
They would rather that. So your father's not wrong for wanting that. He may be going about it wrong, but he's not wrong. And if you get married, your husband's not going to want your daughter sleeping with a man, living with a man, and all that.
Yeah.
You understand that? So forgive him if he's taking it too far. Okay. Well, forgive your father. Have you forgiven your mother? You told her?
Yes.
That means no.
Yes, I have. I think. Maybe not.
You went to your mother and said, I'm sorry for resenting you?
No.
Why not?
Because I never really thought that I did resent my mom
You
until right now.
And what makes you think you resent her now?
Because I feel like she was selfish.
Yes. Forgive her, but you got to tell her, you got to face her. All right? And forgive your father, and God will forgive you. Don't ask for forgiveness. You apologize for being angry at them. They couldn't help themselves. And God will forgive you and draw you into the kingdom, and it's going to be amazing. Because no one with anger is going to get into the kingdom. It ain't going to happen. He said, before you enter into the kingdom, you must go and forgive. You got to forgive your mother and father. Any question about that? Oh, okay. Baba Thumper, did you forgive your mama? Let me have that, yeah.
Yeah, I did.
You told her?
Yeah.
You told your mother you forgive her? What did you say to her?
I forgive you.
And what did she say?
Okay. What are you doing, Evan?
Nice. And you forgave your father for not protecting you from her?
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
I can see it all over you. You look like you're not. Is this your father?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, this your father? Oh, has he forgiven you for not protect him from his mother?
Yeah, I don't know.
So you didn't forgive him?
Potentially, yeah.
You gonna be talking about Jesus, half man, half God.
100%.
Oh, fully man, fully God. Forgive your father and forgive your mother. Forgive. You didn't tell him. Which one you guys heard about the show?
I listen to you every day for like the last 5 years, you know, watch all of your stuff.
And you never told him he needed to forgive his mother?
He hears your show all the time, too, because I'm listening to it in the house.
Oh, I see. And why haven't you gone to forgiving your mother and father? Just last word and we got to end.
Just haven't done it yet.
But how will you love God if you don't love your parents?
That's a good question.
I'm sorry?
A good question.
Yeah. Forgive them, man. You're going to be fine. And, you know, I'm having fun with you, but you'll be fine. But forgive your parents. And then your eyes will open. From within, it's going to be amazing. All right? You got to face your mother.
Yes, sir.
And your father. All right? How old are you?
19.
19? Man, it'd be beautiful to wake up at 19. Because I can tell that you want it. All right? Amazing. And so it'll all work out. I'm out of time. Get on the straight and narrow path. Stay there. Stay there no matter what situation comes. You want to live a thoughtless, non-judgmental life. And you have that right here on earth. All right? So thanks for your support. What else, Nick?
Men's Forum.
Oh, Men's Forum this Thursday night. You guys come Thursday night, if you can make it.
It's up to him.
We'll drag him. I can tell you how to get him here. Get a couple Bibles. and say, come and go with me, son. Right. This Thursday night, first Thursday night of the month, for men only, third Thursday night for ladies only at 7 p.m. So this Thursday. Thank you for your support. We'll do your super chats and things like that tomorrow. Thank you for your tithe and offering. But get on this path. It's so amazing. You're going to overcome hell, all right? And it'll be amazing. What's your answer to the biblical question? Do you know God? And who is he?
I know him, yes.
You know him?
I believe so.
And who is he?
He is a spirit that dwells within me when I'm present.
Oh, amazing. Y'all remember she said that, all right? No, I'm playing. All right, bye, y'all. Thank y'all. I appreciate it.